Hey everybody, it's Angel Benton, and this is actually the second time that I'm filming this video. The first video was actually too long for YouTube. And rather than try and edit it, which I couldn't really wrap my head around, I'm going to just shoot it again. So I'm not going to do any extraneous sidebars or stories. I'm just going to go get right to the meat of the today's show. It's a little early, so forgive me. And I won't go into anything of who's sponsoring the show or anything like that, or you know what I'm drinking. That was last night. I'm not drinking anything today. So Days of Our Lives. We're talking about Days of Our Lives. Okay. So I mentioned previously this issue of Soap Opera Digest, which has an interview with Dina Higley and Ryan Kwan, the new head writers of Days of Our Lives. And I'll talk about them in a second. But first I want to talk about the things that I'm really enjoying about the show, which is a little bit different for me because I felt like it was the show that had the furthest to go in terms of being a watchable program. And I think one of the main reasons why Days is so weird is that it has the weirdest shooting schedule. They shoot like 6 months in advance. So whereas all the other shows, they tape like maybe 2 weeks in advance, Days, if there's a storyline that's a clunker, it's 6 months before Days can actually put a stop to it. Whereas the other shows can be like, oh yeah, this isn't working, let's change gears. So that kind of that level of awareness has got to awareness has got to definitely hurt the show because they have to do everything in advance. And I don't know why they do everything in advance. Is it because of budgets? But I don't understand how. I mean, anyways, so one of the things that I love about the show is Victor Kiriakis. I've always loved Victor. I was one of the people that railed against the show when Victor was first let go in the 90s. I mean, I love me some Victor Kiriakis, right? He had a line this week. First of all, the writing is hysterical, okay? So he had a line this week that was so damn funny. He was talking about Chloe and how much he hates Chloe. And he's like, oh my God, all the men in my family, Brady, Damos, Philip. Who else has she been with? Brady, Philip, Damos. There was one other one. God damn it. Anyways, and he's like, God, thank God at least Sonny's gay. That was it. I was dead. I mean, it was too much. I was time of death. I mean, like, it was great. It was so funny. He's really great. But he's not really a villain. Maybe when he first came on the show he was, but he softened up a bit. And even his brother Damos is kind of not really villainesque anymore either. So, Daniel, that's who it was. Daniel. R.I.P. Daniel. Okay, so he's incredible. But he's not really a villain. So that's why I'm also enjoying this Legion of Doom storyline with Orpheus and Clyde and Xander. Now, Xander actually has ties to Victor's family, so that makes sense. And Orpheus was genius. That was genius bringing him back because, you know, if Stefano DiMera can't be on the show anymore, which I'm still having a hard time believing that because I love me some Stefano DiMera. He might be my favorite person on the whole show. Get rid of that hair. But if he can't be on the show anymore, it makes sense then they went before Stefano ever came on the show and they got their villain Orpheus. Genius. Because, I mean, the whole situation with Orpheus is kind of what bled into Stefano DiMera coming to town. But, I mean, it's great. It was a really well-crafted use of history. And that's one of the things that I think Days does not do that well is use their history. For example, and this was a few writing regimes ago, so I'm not going to hold the current writing team responsible for this. But, like, a few years ago, there was a big explosion. And this was the underground, and this was the one that killed Madison, who was Brady's girlfriend. And the thing about that explosion was that, you know, Kayla at the time was working at the Brady pub, and she's like, I mean, even though I'm not working as one, I'm still a doctor, so I'm going to help people. So she went and helped people. You know who didn't do that? Kate. And that kind of upset me because Kate is a doctor also. People forget that Kate first came on the show many, many, many years ago as Dr. Kate Winograd, and that's how she met Bill Horton, and then she had children with him. So that kind of has gone by the wayside, so I'm kind of curious as to what that's about. But on the good side, Kate has done a great job of, like, for example, last week, or maybe it was even the week before, I mentioned how I understand that, what is that? Is that my lip? Did I tear my lip? Oh my God, that's a scab. Oh. Anyways, Kate was talking about her relationship with Chad, which is great. We've always seen that. But she was framing it more in the context of I was married to his father. But the reality is that she promised to his mother that she would take care of him because she was friends with Chad's mother. And then on her deathbed, she trusted her son to Kate. And that was actually mentioned this week, so I give props to the writing team for that, because that's important. That was really good. I enjoyed that immensely. Okay, so this interview where this interview in Soap Opera Digest, it talks about how they asked what their favorite storylines were. And Dina said that her favorite storylines were from the 80s, the early 80s, you know, the original days of John and Marlena and Kim and Shane and Kayla and Patch, all that crap, right? And then Ryan said he's more into the late 80s, early 90s with stories like Maison Blanche and Aramid. And because those were big umbrella stories that got the whole cast involved. Kind of like this Legion of Doom thing has, so it makes sense. And the best part about Maison Blanche. So Maison Blanche, that was Stefano DiMera's hideaway in New Orleans. And that's where we first saw Hope as Gina, which I need to see some more from her about that time in her life. Like, I mean, how traumatizing is it that you get kidnapped and brainwashed into thinking you're someone else and you act like that other person for years? I mean, like, it's a little strange. So, I don't know. I kind of want to see more acknowledgement of Princess Gina. But that's where we first saw Hope as Gina. That's also where we found out that Lexi is Celeste and Stefano's child. And Celeste, I love the last person that played Celeste was great, but Tanya Boyd will always be Celeste to me. She was the perfect blend of nuts and caring mother. Like, it was great. She was a little crazy, but she was really cool. I loved Celeste. I think she was a great character. And that's one thing I do wish the show would bring back, is at least some sort of comic relief. Now, granted, the lines that they've been writing for people have been very, very good. But it would be nice to have a character like a Calliope Jones or a Vivian Alamain or a Celeste Perot that can give the show the humor that it needs to kind of offset the darkness. Now, there is a bunch of humor, and I realize that their shows literally started on September 6th, so this is like week 2. So I'm giving them time. Trust me, I believe it. But and I'm excited because this is the first time I've ever had like really, really great and positive things to say about the show. It's great. Another thing, even though they're still having budget constraints, which I don't understand why and this is afflicting the whole genre. Every network, every station, they've all got budget concerns. I don't know why they do that. But I will say that despite that, they're finding ways to tell their stories without having to do, you know, big extraneous, you know, like outdoor shots or, you know, stupid things like, you know, hurricanes and earthquakes and all that stuff, because that's all been done like a million times. So this Legion of Doom thing is great. And I haven't seen any scenes in that fucking park in a while. So thank God, because I'm over that fucking park. It is the worst. I mean, it was like, you would think that was the only set that they had. It was awful. So anyways, that's all I'm going to say for today. I'm going to try to keep it short and sweet. Thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to follow me on Twitter at Angel Benton. And you can also use the hashtag days to talk about days of our lives. Tomorrow I'm going to, actually no, tonight, because it was supposed to be tomorrow, but it took me forever to load this video. Tonight I'm going to be talking about Young and the Restless. And I hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and thank you so much for spending some time with me. Peace out.